Welcome to another edition of the Check Ball Podcast. I am your host, Mello Williams. Today's special guest is 2026 Amare Hereford from Beloit Memorial High School. Amare, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us here on the Check Ball Podcast.
Yeah, no problem.
Before we get started, I'm going to ask you an icebreaker question just to get things going. And it's about pregame rituals. If you had have any pregame rituals before any game, baseball, anything, what is it?
You know, you always gotta stretch. That's like the most important thing. Gotta make sure you loose. You know, I also make sure my teammates pumped up, make sure they ready, make sure they got everything going on good. You know, just making sure my mind is in the right place. Going into the game.
Most definitely, and that's the main thing. That mental, being prepared, ready to go get it.
Mhm.
Speaking of just sports, basketball. What was your favorite sports growing up before you just? Because you are a three-sport athlete, right? So, what is it about sports that you love about sports?
Just like the competition you play at. The love you have for the game, like the all-time greats you watch. Just having the chance to do the things you like, play the game you love, how exciting the game is, you know, whether it's whatever sport you like, going out there and just doing what you do.
Most definitely. And what is it about basketball? What drew you to the game of to the sport of basketball?
Probably, just the level of like intensity they play while they're in the game, the motivation, like inspiration they do, like for younger kids, going out there and playing at a high level, like the NBA D1 level, just drew me like to like get where they're at, just do the same thing.
Most definitely. Who inspired you to play basketball? Was it a family member, someone, a college basketball player, an NBA player? Who has it inspired you to play basketball?
Probably my mom,
Okay,
she played in high school and in college, and like when she had me at a young age, she put a ball into my hand, ever since, going, just dribbling, and just falling in love with the game.
most definitely. What advice have mom given you, being that she's a basketball player herself?
Like always just play how you play, playing with other people, like maybe people you don't know or people like you don't want to play against, just go out there and just show them how you play. Always play like with fire,
For
never
sure,
get too comfortable, what I'm saying? Just go out there and ball out.
most definitely. We know that Wisconsin is known as a basketball state, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of states don't really recognize that until a lot of players from Wisconsin getting recruited. Wisconsin is definitely a hotbed state,
Yeah.
played in the Big Eight and just around, non-conference games in general. Would you speak about the level of competition that you face on a nightly basis playing in the Big Eight and just around the state of Wisconsin as a whole?
Yeah. In Beloit, the Big Eight, we play in like the hardest conference in Wisconsin. Every night you're playing against top ranked teams like in the state. Like almost every team in the conference is ranked. You're playing against ranked players that are like on the ranked team. So like going out there and like as Beloit, we're always the underdogs going into a game, you know, and we want to go out there and just show them how we compete against high level teams and high level players. So yeah.
Speaking of the Big Eight, I know it's about Janesville, Craig. You got the Madison schools up
Mhm.
there. Is there a specific school that you like facing the most? Even though just being a competitor, every team is the same. You got to go out there and try to win. But is there one school, one team that you got up for the most?
Um, there's probably like two teams. One I would probably say Madison West. You know, they have mainly freshmen and sophomores. And I played against most of them for AAU. So like going like playing against them, like it's fun. Freshmen going at it. Like we both know how we play, both know each other, so that's good. And then probably the second team, I would have to say Probably Sunbury West. You know, like they're a tough physical team. We want to like go over there and like show them how we physical too. First game I played them, they kind of pushed me around a little bit because I was like second game I was a freshman. I was a little scared to go out there. Then the second game came around. Came at it. A little different.
No doubt.
Yeah,
Most
showed
most
them a little
definitely.
something.
Most definitely. I mean, and that's expected. Being a freshman, being moved up to varsity, many
Yeah,
don't get that opportunity to do that. So that says a
hmm
lot about your talent, right? First and
yeah,
foremost, right? So
yeah,
let's start right there. Being brought up to varsity at, Beloit Memorial High School. We know that the history of Beloit Memorial basketball
yeah.
as a whole. You are one of the few to have been brought up as a freshman to not just play on the varsity, but to start as the starting point guard on the team as well.
Yeah.
Before we get into the season, would you speak about any advice that was given to you prior to being moved up?
I had a couple coaches walk up to me and tell me that I was getting moved up to varsity as a starting point guard. You know, they told me, even though you're playing with 13 seniors and two juniors and you're the only freshman, don't be hesitant and don't, you know, just play how you play. Even on the court, you're playing against upperclassmen. You're the youngest on the court. Don't don't play scared. Go out there and play how you play for even like when you play your age. Like yeah.
Most definitely. And, I mean, and basketball never changed, right? The
hmm
fundamentals never changed. The arenas changed. The players in the jersey changed, but
Yeah.
the fundamentals of basketball never changed. Even with the advice that you was given going into the season, what was something that out of the advice that you was given that stuck with you the most?
Probably, you know, even though you're an underclassman, still be a leader on the court and control the pace of the game. As a
Most
starting point
definitely.
guard, I have to know where everybody's supposed to be. Know the plays. And just control the pace of our offense. And as a youngin, you gotta kind of like put some bass in your voice against the seniors sometimes, and kind of yeah,
Exert that leadership.
yeah.
Most definitely. And speaking of that, what did you enjoy the most? Being a point guard, being a leader, and again being brought up as a freshman, the coach is definitely relying on you for a lot of responsibility and leadership.
hmm
Speak about your leadership. What do you like the most about being a leader?
Just being able to like get your teammates involved, create open shots for them, keep their mind in check, like whether it's them like not getting attacked in a close game situation, um, telling them where they have to be, on the help side defense, offense, back cut, just to like simple fundamentals, just being another eye on the floor beside the coach, being able to talk with them.
And being the assistant coach on the court, as a player, what do you love most about playing the point guard position?
Just the way you get your teammates involved, show off your IQ, you know, get great assists, also creating shots for yourself, instead of just being like a floor general, you can create open shots for yourself and yeah.
If you had to compare your game, your style of play to anyone, what player would that player be?
Probably De'Aaron Fox,
Okay, okay.
yeah, we're both lefties, I get that a lot from other people, we're both lefties, we're both very fast, we're both very athletic, we're both point guards, we have a good mid range, we both control like the pace of the game very well. We have the 3-point shot, and we both finish very like well around the rim. That's like our number one like strength. Getting to the rim and finishing through contact. Yeah,
And that's a great one. I definitely see the resemblance of the game between you two. And we saw him put on a great performance last night. What he finished up with like 34, 35 last night.
yeah,
In his first playoffs game and series right
hmm
now going against the reigning champs, the Golden State Warriors. You had opportunity to play in a playoff game as well. Speaking about the regular season and the playoffs, just speak about your team. Just speak about the focus of the team and just how the season went for you guys.
Going into the season, we knew we were going to be like a small team. Our tallest player is maybe 6'6". We're going against like 6'8", 6'9", centers. We knew we were going to be the underdogs, so we wanted to go in the season with some fire, you know, and just the environment like around our team. Every game was loud, because like we just brought the energy every game. Like most games, we were like never dead. Like it could be an away game, like a weekend game. The gym, like there would be no fans, but we would bring the energy and it'll just make the game go way smoother and like, yeah, make it easy for ourselves.
Speaking of making it easy for yourselves, what is it that you love about basketball the most?
Just how you can go out there and just compete, compete and like do what you love. The game is just very exciting. It's fast paced, it's not like a slow type of game. Just going out there and just, yeah, doing what you love.
Before we transition into the other side of the break, let's talk about you and your hobbies outside of basketball. What else makes you happy? What other sports do you play besides basketball?
I also play baseball. I play for Benny Baseball travel team, and I'm the starting center fielder for Beloit varsity. So it's pretty good.
Okay, real quick, where can the fans find you at before we take a commercial break?
You guys can find me on my Instagram, Amare Hereford. You can, you know, just you can see me some other places on social media. You can find my Twitter, Amari Hereford. Um, yeah, you can find me on there.
For sure. Real quick, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick 30-second commercial break. This is the Check Ball Podcast. I am your host, Mello Williams. Today's special guest is 2026 Amari Hereford from Beloit Memorial High School. Let's talk about some college basketball and NBA basketball. We just got to see some great college basketball, the national championship that was won by UConn
Yeah.
and then over San Diego State. And then we saw a great women's tournament as well with
Hmm.
LSU defeating Iowa for their first national championship ever.
Yeah.
Speaking about college basketball, how do you feel your game identifies in college basketball the most?
Just the way how a guard's supposed to play. You know, I can get in there. Well, I don't really play like as a point guard. I do, but a lot of rebounds don't get in there and grab rebounds. They kind of like leak out. And just. But I like control the pace of the game. I feel like I get my teammates involved. Great leadership. Um, Fast pace on the court. I use my speed, my athleticism, just like playing smart. Knowing what to do in situations and making sure my teammates know what to do in situations, not doing anything dumb or anything to cost us the game.
For sure. Um, let's talk about AAU basketball. You play with the Tar Heel Select AAU team, um, and AAU is starting to get going. Would you
Mhm.
speak about the difference in AAU basketball versus just high school basketball?
High school, you know, for me this year, it was a little bit more slow pace. More teams like running the offense. Not just going out there just like doing whatever. And then you get into AAU where it's just up and down, like no stopping, just not really running a lot of plays. I'm playing more people my age. Um, and for AAU, our team was more smaller. and I would have to get in there, grab more rebounds, guard tall defenders, whether like, and then in high school, I got to guard like they're one of their best guards. I got to go in there and play defense, which defense is a big part about me too. I like to get in the passing lanes, get steals, you know, yeah.
Playing for the Tar Heels, so like you guys have played nationally and definitely all over the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
What is one thing that you have taken from playing with the Tar Heels Select, even if it was from a team concept, just being on the road, traveling, being away from home, being responsible away from home and things like that? What's one thing that you have taken from playing with the Tar Heels Select that you have adapted to your game and for leadership back at Beloit Memorial?
Just like, for AAU, like I take people off the dribble way more than I did in high school. In high school, you got way more taller defenders on the court. So I had to add a dribble pull up, I had to do more of that. And in AAU, I can just, one move off a screen, like boom, boom, get to the rim. And in AAU, I had to add a little step back, floater, do more of that. Yeah.
Not to reveal your hand too much. What's your favorite go-to move?
Uh,
Ooh.
Probably like, probably the spin move or
Most
like,
definitely, because we know, like with Jordan, we know with AI, we know that patent move was coming.
yeah.
I mean, and I've heard plenty of athletes say, if a player don't know your patented move, you're doing too many moves. They still got
Yeah.
to stop it, right? For
Hmm.
sure. Being a lefty, right? Lefties definitely have an advantage on the court, right?
Yeah.
What do you feel? What do you enjoy about being a lefty the most?
Just like being unpredictable, A lot of people think you can't go right until like you show them, So, you know, I, give them a little fake and go right. And then once they think I'm gonna go right, I hit them with another like, little move, the spin move, of course, you know, spin move and I go back left. And a lot of people, I get one move from like James Harden, the step back. They think I'm going left, and then I hit him with a step back, side step, whatever. So, yeah, just being unpredictable.
Most definitely, most definitely. Let's talk about college for a second, right? You a few years away from going. However, we know, especially being a student athlete that you are, college is very important, right?
Hmm.
And when it comes to recruiting and things of that nature, we know academics takes precedence over all things. What type of basketball school, academic basketball school, are you looking for? What like do you have like top 5 dream schools that you would love to play for?
Um, Definitely, North Carolina, UCLA, Marquette, Kentucky. Last one, probably Alabama. I don't know. Yeah, probably Alabama.
Okay. What is it that you like about North Carolina the most?
Just the history they have at the school. Michael Jordan played there. Um, just like the environment is always great at every game they play. You know, they're they're like a winning team almost every season. So and like their style of play is just out the chart. They're a fast paced team. They're just like run and gun. And that fits my play style. So I would go to a school that I think I would do well at.
Most definitely. We have a couple minutes left. We're gonna have some fun to close out this interview.
Yeah.
Um, your if you could write your own ship right now, what school would you get your full ride from that you will be starting the point guard for?
Probably Marquette. Probably Marquette.
Nice. Okay. Your name is called in the 2029 NBA draft. The Who selects Amare Hereford from Beloit, Wisconsin.
Hmm. Oh, the who?
Yes.
Probably. Mm, I'd have to say the Bucks. because
So
like
we
Marquette. Yeah,
we staying in state with the
yeah,
academics and basketball opportunities,
yeah.
and we playing pro ball right at home.
Hmm.
I love it. I love it. Let's talk about the NBA playoffs real quick right now. Uh, we see what's going on. What teams are you looking forward to coming out the first round, out the East and the West?
The West, definitely the Lakers. The Suns. Um, that's my top two right now.
Okay, the Lakers
And
and the
then
Suns out west.
yeah, and for the
Okay,
East, I haven't really decided about the East yet. I don't
okay,
know.
okay.
Just like this year, it's a lot of like what ifs, what ifs. There's not really like a solid team you can really decide on. It's kind of an even year.
That is true. What are you loving the most about the parity in the NBA right now?
Um, Probably just like there's no like team you can really say can go all the way. There's really like there's like players like you think they can like carry a team all the way, but like it doesn't really work like that no more. It's not the league a couple years ago. You got to have like a full roster, like starting five and bench to come in the game and you know like contribute. Like the
For sure.
playoffs, you can't. If a starter gets injured, you got to have depth. You got to have like a bench that can show like what they can do too.
Spoken and well said like a coach. Do you have coaching in your future if basketball or baseball don't pan out for you?
Yeah, I think I would want to be a coach. I think
Okay,
like yeah,
most definitely. I mean, the way that you just broke down the game and just been breaking down basketball all day, I love to hear it. And you definitely have a future as a coach.
yeah.
Most definitely. And now I know you said that your game resembles De'Aaron Fox the most. Who is your favorite player to watch in the NBA right now?
LeBron James,
LeBron James,
definitely
most
LeBron
definitely.
James.
Okay, most definitely. Will LeBron James with another ring before he retires?
Yes,
Will LeBron James and Bronny James play together in the NBA?
yes, definitely, yeah.
And is LeBron James the GOAT of all times to you?
Yes, he is the greatest of all time.
That is it. That is said right there by Mr. Amare Hereford from Beloit, Wisconsin,
Yep.
attending Beloit Memorial High School and playing AAU basketball with the Tar Heels Select. And as you said, you can find him on all social media sites. Amari Hereford, go on YouTube at 2026 Amari Hereford, somewhere, somehow, Beloit Memorial, you would definitely find him in the mix.
Yep.
Any closing words, young man, from you?
Just thank you for the opportunity, for the interview. I'm glad to be on here, and I really appreciate it.
Most definitely, likewise, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day, coming here and talking some basketball. And I definitely look forward to continue watching you grow on the basketball court and the baseball diamond.
Yep.
Most definitely.
Yep.
Enjoy the day, enjoy the playoffs, and we will catch up soon, sir.
Yep. See you.
Thank you. Well, now there's another episode of the Check Ball Podcast. Today's special guest was Mr. Amari Hereford from Beloit Memorial High School.